13 Folds Alive. Welcome back to 13 Folds Radio on lemonadio.com. I'm Dave Death, and I'm joined tonight by Steph Viva and Eddie Bills over there. So we have a special guest on with us tonight. We have Derek Gould from Solar Therapeutics out of Somerset, Massachusetts. And Derek, thank you for joining us. How are you doing today?
What's up, fellas? How's it going? Thank you for having me. Excited to be here. Dave, I know we've been working on this for a while, so glad this finally came to fruition, and here we go.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you guys were, we've known each other for a while. So you guys were kind of involved in the brainstorming process when we started thinking about different directions to go with 13 Folds. So yeah, it's cool to have you actually on the show because yeah, been wanting to do this for a long time. And we got so much to talk about, man. I mean, COVID has been, or just 2020 in general was a horrific year for all of us, but you guys kind of
Well,
made the best of it.
It's 2021 and we're still like December 67th. So we're still here. But Solar Therapeutics has been doing cool stuff in 2020.
We have, absolutely.
So tell everybody what you're doing.
Yeah, so we are a cannabis cultivator, manufacturer, retail dispensary. I guess the key differentiator between us and some of our competitors is that we're entirely energy independent. So our whole focus and what we've built our facility in Somerset is based upon is being sustainable, fully sustainable, as close to fully sustainable as possible. Indoor cannabis cultivation is an immense energy hog. It's just when you're talking about lights, you're talking about HVAC. It gets very, very energy inefficient, and you can see that through all walks of different states. Whoever's whether you're besides greenhouses, I suppose, any type of indoor cultivation is just a complete huge energy bill every month.
So how are you guys changing that?
So we implemented a lot of green infrastructure concepts. So a lot of companies that go into this, cultivators, they kind of have the idea to just get up and running. Let's just get cultivating. Let's get lights in. Let's get plants in. Let's get product, up and running. And they just think we'll retrofit later once we start making money. What we did, and I'm proud to say that we did it through private investors, bootstrapped, just people from all walks of life that were really buying what we were selling. We invested in all of that green infrastructure up front.
Nice.
So we use LED lights all throughout, which is huge. We have solar panels. We have 67,000 square feet of solar panels on our roof and about 4 acres of solar panels adjacent to the property next to us. So the big, and as grandiose as solar is, the sun isn't always shining and battery storage isn't quite where it needs to be yet. We're waiting for Mr. Musk to kind of invest in that. But where we really kind of rest our laurels is our microgrid. So we have 2 CHPs, which are combined heat and power generators. So these are high efficiency generators, natural gas, close to zero emissions. But these generate a lot of energy, and we're talking megawatts. So to kind of put it into perspective, 1 megawatt can power about 1,000 small homes. We have the capability to generate 5.4 megawatts on site. So this, in totality, allows us to go off grid. We can sell energy back to the grid.
Pretty fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing. When I came on board,
you have a negative footprint on things.
Right.
Really?
We're getting there.
Yeah.
It's tough to tote, where your carbon footprint is as far as emissions wise goes. We're probably close to 70% right now. We have the capabilities to get to 90%.
So in respect to other cultivators, like where are you, how much less do you use?
We use significantly less. Like I said, we're at around the 70 mark. We can get to 90%, but where the proof is really in the pudding has been our energy rebates. So we've accumulated close to $1 million. We're probably a little over $1 million now from energy rebates, and that's just in our lighting and some of our HVAC. we haven't even taken into consideration our microgrid, so our
Right.
combined heat and power units. Once that's taken into consideration, we will really be leading the mark, not just in the United States and North America, as far as energy efficiencies goes. One of the energy companies that, so there's National Grid and Liberty Utilities, and this is all public information, but Liberty Utilities has given us to date the largest rebate of any company they've worked with so far. So that's a huge, huge milestone. I think not just in the cannabis industry, but any industry in and itself.
Right, exactly.
So that's really where we've planted our flag, to be that leader, that thought leader, that responsible corporate citizen in this industry, because it's needed. And as more and more states come online, whether it's medical, whether it's adult use, we really need to rethink how we're building these massive, massive energy hogs. And it really does end up paying for itself if you invest up front. Granted, the numbers can be daunting.
Yeah.
It can be done. It really can be done. So we really want to not only, have a competitive advantage, over our competitors and people in state and out of state, but we want to just really make the blueprint that, like, this can be done. It's not impossible.
Yeah. Well, and you're doing something great for everybody, not just, the cannabis community. It's everyone.
Well, the cannabis industry gets a bad rap anyways, all the time.
And even like urban areas, and it's the green infrastructure. We have to start rethinking the way that we're doing things. We can't.
Yeah, I love it.
So, have that caveman that just, this is the way that we've done business as usual. Like, no, we need to really start, implementing all of these technologies that are
right.
Yeah.
Were you trying to say something, David?
Yeah, I mean, the cannabis industry gets a bad rap for that anyways throughout the country, wherever there's recreational cannabis or there's grows set up. We take a lot of heat from environmentalists because it does do a lot of damage. There's a lot of water runoff, and it has chemicals and stuff in it a lot of times. And
sure, and that's one of the things. Sorry, that's one of the things that we also do is our water reclamation. So we use about 10,000 gallons a day. We're reclaiming about 90% of that water, cleaning it, going through arc skids, and then we reintroduce it back into our automated system. So it's really like a closed loop. This is the real deal. There's no leaks here. So it's an amazing accomplishment, and we have to give props to number one, our CEO and CFO. They've done a remarkable job, and like I said, bootstrapping the investment to not sell out to the big corporations, but really keep this a private invested company, and we're really proud of that.
When you set up a good model for others to follow behind you. And that's what's key, because people in this industry, like you said, we're going to have to rethink how we do things. And it's just going to get bigger and bigger. I mean, I think we were talking about this with my producer. Oregon has more dispensaries than McDonald's. So,
it's a little saturated, right?
It's something. You can fact check me. I don't know if it's true or not, but I mean, we've.
And now a giant hole over the ozone.
But anyway, yeah, we're talking with Derek Gould from Solar Therapeutics.
So right now we have a bunch of solventless extracts and concentrates that are going to be hitting shelves, I'd say, by February. And
so what are we going to be looking at that's going to be different than any other extracts? And obviously you have a wizard, so it's going to be way better.
Sure, we got to keep some of the cards close to the vest. We can't.
Proprietary blends.
But the typical solventless line, you're going to see a lot of bubble hash, some live rosin. I think the story that we have to tell with alchemy kind of falls in line with with how we're going to do things in our labs. So we're super excited. And again, it's just opening up that diversification of products and just having that kind of full gamut of portfolio of, concentrates, extracts, and then we'll be moving to edibles, hopefully end of Q2 this year.
And so let everybody know where you guys are located, because I know that's like a big thing, your space. So tell everyone about your space and why it's like comfy, homey, a little bit like craft beer kind of vibing. Like I enjoy it.
Absolutely. So we're right in Somerset. We're right off exit 10 now that they renumbered all the exits.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous. I'm like, it says the old one underneath. We can figure it out.
Yeah, none of the maps are updated. None of the GPS.
Even coming in from Providence to, coming through Route 6, we're right on Brayton Point Road, so you can't miss us. So one of the things that we're really proud of, again, just our flagship facility, is that we have a dispensary that's, incorporated and attached to our corporate, our cultivation, everything, all in one. So it's a big piece of real estate, our dispensary, so we can accommodate, obviously COVID permitting and COVID allowing, the right amount of people, but the lines and queues go fast. It sucks this time of year when it's
well, it's winter too, and you got people snaked outside.
And you're sitting outside for 4 hours. That's
right.
Again, as a differentiator between some of our competitors, is that it's in and out, it's quick, but the experience is awesome.
So it might be another 20 minutes for them to drive, but by the time it's all said and done, you're making it up because you're in and out.
Yeah, and I think our products speak for itself. Our flower is top notch. We're only getting better, and I think the genetics that we're rolling out, from a flower perspective, are very exclusive to the East Coast, and that's something that is huge in this game, obviously. But I think once we have, again, leveraging our lab, leveraging a whole differentiation of products, it's going to be worth that extra drive.
Yeah.
Whether you're driving past us, you got to come down, north, south, east, west, doesn't matter. We're proud, and we can definitely compete with the best of them. So come to solar.
And you guys have the space to play around there too. That's what's cool about it, is you guys set up in the beginning like to grow. I remember when I first went there, when you guys were just getting started with the facility, that's what impressed me the most, is it's all very modular, and like you guys designed it to just build and grow, and you have the people that you guys have employed. I've met a lot of these guys. You have the expertise there to really do some, do some of your own strains, and do something that other dispensaries aren't doing. And I think that's what's cool. And plus, like, you guys have another facility coming up later this year.
So retail dispensary in Seekonk, right on Route 6, right across from Seekonk Motor Speedway. So that's been a gem. We're just waiting, obviously, with licensing, COVID. You know how that shit goes. We have to
Did you guys take my advice and turn the big milk jug into a bong?
We were thinking about it. I know Ed's kind of hot on that. I think he was going to try and do something like some kind of smoke machine or something. But we're definitely kind of go back. Like, we have fun. That's the one thing, and we do have the space. We're built to really supply the state with flower, with product. That was
with energy. Like, you're checking every box of, like, there's no reason not to visit you. So.
For sure.
I'm good.
It's quite a sight. And, when you take a tour of the facility and you see kind of out back and how everything works, not only just the infrastructure, but just the workflow and how everything, it's so soundly engineered. The workflow just makes total sense, as far as, from going to propagation to moms to, to flower, to veg, to flower, to, the whole gamut. It's
your internal life cycle. It's like your own little greenhouse in your greenhouse.
I feel like I'm in Death Star every time I go back there. Like,
I never need to leave here.
The first time I saw it, it blows your mind. Obviously, you get kind of used to it after a while. But
the awe factor wears off a little.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, but this is still really cool.
I don't know if it ever wears off, because every time I go back, I see it seems like you guys are coming up with new shit to do.
Yeah, there's, like you said, it's a big playground. It's like an adult playground in there.
Hell, the first time I went there, you guys always got all kinds of people hanging out there too. I met Bill Diamond the first time I went there. The guy who did the Dark Crystal and all of the Muppet stuff, if you don't know who he is. But there's always somebody really cool hanging out there that you end up, running into.
It's pretty wild. Yeah, we have a pretty extensive Rolodex of people that we know. So there's always, this person popping in, that person popping in. So
that's it. Just cool things breed other cool people and other things. So it kind of just happens.
And, it gives us that opportunity to ideate and really just bring in, throw something against the wall. If something sticks and it makes sense, let's roll with it. We'll send it up the ladder. And if it's something that, could make sense for us, whether it's a product, whether it's an improvement in workflow, a new strain, a new hire, it's something that we really pride ourselves in taking the liberty to allow all of our employees to do. So
Awesome.
it's really cool to see. Yeah.
I like it. A little think tank over at Solar Therapeutics. So get your asses over there.
We got by Thursday, but
That's great.
no, it's definitely fun. Absolutely.
It's 13 Folds live on Tuesday nights with Dave Death, Steph, Viva, and special
I'm always
guest.
that jerk that's inappropriate and last minute.
You look lovely, Steph. Come on.
Why, thank you. I have my big hair on today.
Nice.
I'm channeling my southernness.
Derek has his big hair on too, as you can see.
I love it. You guys, both of you are looking stylish tonight. Thank you.
You didn't get the memo? No,
no one told me the beanie. I wanted to look like a, dirty hippie.
I just got a haircut too. I'll keep it on for branding purposes.
I'm kidding. You look great.
So when we left off, I was excited because I wanted to just bring up that you guys have been working on a big event, which actually it's been difficult to get going because of all the COVID regulations. But tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So, Dave, as you know, you've been involved, pretty much every step of the way. In the Cultivator Cup, we partnered with Jordan Carlson, who's the pharmacist out of Rhode Island. It's basically his cup. We were going to be kind of the powered by retail partner. So basically it's a true blind competition. One of the first in Massachusetts, at least the way that we were going to go about the competition. It was sanctioned by, I wouldn't say sanctioned, but it was approved. I'll use approved by the CCC.
The language is very difficult for everyone and all of the things because it's changing all the time. What's acceptable vernacular and what is not?
So we had this awesome idea. I think the concept was really, really great. The way that we were going to go about the cup, true blind, where you don't know who the cultivator is, and I think
that's the best way to be, just because everybody has a preconceived notion of whatever it is, and also cannabis is how you feel, so everybody has a different reaction.
Yeah, and the one thing where it's a little different is so these judges kits, which would be comprised of an ounce individual, like 1 grams, 28 grams per kit. I know. So this would be we're empowering the customer or the consumer to be the judge. Obviously, it's a big spend when you're buying an ounce of flower. So we want to empower them and give them that right to test everything that's out there in the mass market, whether it's medicinal or it's adult use, and just see who has the best flower. We were, for at least this first go round, we were just going to do flower. Obviously, we can evolve the competition into other categories, but it was huge. It had big prospects, and one of the things that we wanted to do was not just make it a competition, but make it just a huge event.
Almost a festival vibe. That was, I like that.
Yeah, Dave. Obviously you helped us with that, which was great. We had a rock solid lineup of local kind of regional musicians, and the headliner was Method Man Redman. Everything was all set in stone, and then obviously kind of COVID threw a monkey wrench into any live event, like it did for pretty much anyone in the world. So
we were going to have a Ferris wheel, man. That was going to be insane.
That was Gordon's idea. We were a little apprehensive, but he was pushing it pretty hard.
You were apprehensive about a Dave idea?
Oh, that's what's best about working with Jordan, the pharmacist, is he's more outrageous than me. Like, I actually got to talk him down off the ledge sometimes.
I like to consider myself not too much of a worrywart or like a conservative person, but he was pushing the envelope, which is great, because I think if you're going to do an event, you're going to do it on this scale.
Go big or go home.
Especially for the inaugural event, you really want to just make a lasting impression, and he was definitely the right person to partner with. And Jordan, if you see this, thanks, buddy. But it was, we had to scale back, we had to push it back. And then we were going to reschedule, and then we had to push it back again. So to punt it to this year.
Pandemic.
It's going to happen. I feel it. It's going to happen.
Yeah. one of the things that, that really we wanted to do was to get other cultivators in Mass, involved with this, because since it's a true blind competition, and it's not going to judges that you don't know who they are. It's literally just going to people purchasing these kits. And I mean, we had inbound from all over New England, lining up to get these things. So, I mean, the demand was there. So I think it empowers not only just, these customers who can be the judges and can have fun, and it can be a total interactive experience. It really is a marketing and promotional tool for these other cultivators in the Mass space. Whether they win or they don't, their names are still going to be attached to it.
Yeah, but competition breeds competition, and it just makes everybody better. It really does.
Well, the judging aspect of it is really cool, because what most people who don't realize, if you're not involved with cannabis competitions, is most of the judges are chosen. And not everybody.
I would like to be a chosen one. I'm just throwing my hat in the ring if
judge.
you need me.
So it's a good opportunity for those people who want to judge a cannabis competition to be able to do so without having to know the inner circle of the community. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah, there's no preconceived notions of who is who and what is this, and it's just straight. This is how I feel. This is why I feel this way, and that is why they're the best.
Yeah. So and it's super important, in this industry. So
for sure.
People coming online, so it's kind of a no-brainer when you think about it.
Well, and that's what I like. It just seems like everything that you guys do is really about the regular consumer. The facility itself, it's welcoming. People like going there. It has a homey vibe. I love going to your dispensary for
that's
reason.
it. Like I was just saying when we were not talking on YouTube and everywhere else, that I was at a place yesterday where I said, I will wait in the car and you have fun with that. And I don't care if it takes you half an hour, 45 minutes. I'll be here on my phone, scrolling social media, not going in there. Because you guys just eliminate all of that to make it like just a comfortable vibe. Like I feel that's really important, because there's already people coming there for anxiety. There are people that are coming there to be medicated for those different things. And if you make it this big daunting task that makes it so uncomfortable that they can't even get in the door, they're not getting
anxiety just talking about it, Steph.
100%. A lot of our clientele and a lot of our customers, they're elderly. We see a lot of people of life coming from all different ailments.
And they're nervous.
And
they don't know.
Yeah, they're nervous, or even if they're returning customers, it's just that ease of access and that kind of in and out mentality that exists in our dispensary that is so key and crucial, because not everyone is in, my demographic where it's
exactly. The comfortability factor is not there for them.
Exactly. And it was very evident when we, because we're currently adult use, when we had to shut our doors because we weren't deemed essential during the COVID shutdown.
That was terrifying, right?
That was
like, oh, Charlie, what are you doing?
Yeah, the amount of income that came in from just reoccurring customers that use this as medicine, don't have a medical card, don't want to get a medical card, don't want to surrender their LTC,
right,
whatever that looks like. It's amazing to just see, the type of clientele that we have, and even if it's adult use and recreational,
exactly,
this as a form of medicine. So it's crucial when when you're talking about ease of access.
Yeah, and also, like I said, it's that comfortability factor where you can go in and just be like, all right, I don't have to have extra anxiety. Okay, these people are going to help me through this. Okay, and now I'm nervous about COVID. Oh, wait, now it's nice and big. It's airy. There's plenty of space. Like, once again, checking all of the boxes of happiness at Solar Therapeutics.
And I'd be remiss to say and to not mention, our bud tenders. They are all so heavily invested in just,
it's important. It's a medicine, and people use it as such. And to have a good bud tender makes the difference in the experience. So if you're really cultivating that entire tribe community, it just makes the experience better for absolutely everybody. So
it does. And I have to tip my cap to all of them, because, they're in the line of fire. Obviously it's a pandemic, but, they show up every day and they're out there and
they're happy about their job.
Of course, yeah. They're a face to the brand and a face to
For
what
sure.
we do, how we interact, how we operate.
They're
So
your trusted employees. It's a different situation. You're not just checking somebody out at the grocery store. They don't care what your meat looks like, but a bud tender actually wants to give you, I'm sorry, me and the meat. It's every week. I
Your
don't know
mind
why.
is obsessed with meat, Steph. Uh,
But it's not the same. Like they don't care. They're like, get this crap out of here so I can do it again. Where
for
a
sure.
bud tender genuinely wants to help you with an experience or a medicine
Yeah,
or, my sciatica or, my elbow hurts and this really helped it because you gave me this CBD salve or whatever the hell it was that
sure.
they suggested for you. So it
Yeah.
is crucial to have those people that you're like, okay, I'm fine with.
It's a
Not
really
only am I fine with, you're great.
Yeah, and that's the way I look at it. It's legitimately like a person having a relationship with a
Yeah.
patient or a consumer, and it's so key and crucial. It's whether you're a veteran and you know everything, but maybe you don't know a new product that's out. Maybe we
Thanks
just
for
want
veterans.
alchemy, lab products or concentrates or extracts, but or you're a novice and you don't know what the hell you're doing. It's your first time in, and you're nervous as shit. It's nice to have those accommodations and just not be hurled in like cattle. You're
Right, right.
every visit. Yeah.
all right, guys, we're going to take another quick music break and we'll be back for one more segment. I definitely want to talk about some of these new strains you guys got coming out because
Correct.
every time we meet, we always go into this room and I see this chalkboard that has just all these different names on it scrawled out, and I'm not going to give any of them up, but yeah, I want to talk about that and a little bit about your growers and stuff like that when we come back. You're listening to 13 Folds live on 13 Folds Radio, lemonadio.com. Let's talk a little bit about genetics and what you guys got
Like,
coming up.
wait, we're all like Dave is like, let me summon
Genetics.
all my brain power to talk about genetics.
Right.
You guys are making embryos back there and
I was like, wait a minute, what? I thought we were talking about strains. I don't want to know about your DNA, Swordman. You've been sharing it with everybody. Sorry.
No, not enough information.
see,
I'll
usually
just
I'm the
sit
one who gets
here.
cut off from drinking here.
Yeah.
I only have one. A big one.
A big one.
So yeah, so when we started, obviously we had to do when we started cultivation about we're at a calendar year. When we started doing actually, transplanting plants, doing our pheno hunt, it takes a while,
Like
especially.
right as they announced COVID, you were like, "Oh, we just began this."
It was pretty close. Yeah, we were moving plants into the veg state. Once COVID kind of.
Insane.
Yeah, it was daunting. It was a little, it was pretty crazy. But
It's okay to show your real face, Derek. You're like, ah,
like you're just like, come on, it's like
what?
to get to that crescendo, and then all of a sudden, you're kind of just slapped with that, and it's kind of a come to Jesus moment.
Yeah.
We obviously we weathered the storm. We were able to keep our cultivation up and running throughout. But when you're doing a pheno hunt and you're trying to dial in genetics, see what sticks, see what doesn't. It's a crazy task.
I was like,
no,
talk science to me,
yeah,
Derek.
no, I won't get too scientific. I'll keep it layman.
I love it.
Yeah, there's no way to spin the prism. It just takes time.
It's
And
fun though.
I think where we're at right now, and kind of looking at it in hindsight, it's always 2020. We have a pretty rock solid line of genetics, so we're super excited. I think we've dialed in, what we're going to roll with for the next 6 to 7 months.
Yeah,
One,
because you really got to plan this. It's not like you can just be like, grow tomorrow. I mean,
absolutely.
I know you're working with wizards and alchemy, but you can't say just grow tomorrow.
Sure, sure. So shout out to Brendan Delaney. He's our director of cultivation. He was out on, I guess you could call it Murder Mountain, but he was in Trinity County for 10 years doing, excuse me, commercial cultivation, greenhouses, like massive greenhouse operations. So he's got a lot of experience under his belt, just kind of going through that whole phase of cultivation and wearing bulletproof vests every day to work.
Terrifying. Like,
Grab
that's
your cup of coffee
crazy.
and grab your bulletproof vest. But no, he's renowned. He's very experienced, and he really spearheaded taking us through this pheno hunt, educating all of us, everyone that's involved in cultivation, and really just being kind of like that guiding light. Where we're at right now, I think we're super happy with the strains that we have. We have.
Well, you won awards and whatnot, so it's got to be good.
Sure. We're really trying to bring West Coast genetics out east. When you look at just what's out there from a compound genetics, from a Humboldt seed company, they have top-notch genetics, and that's really what wins in this game. And when you have something that's exclusive or close to exclusive, that's kind of when you can really start to make an imprint and kind of set yourself up for competition. And every cultivator, I've seen them all en masse. They all have their rock solid go-to strains. So just kind of, it's par for the course in this industry.
Yeah.
But shout out to the whole cultivation team at Solar. It's a massive undertaking. It really is. When you have 2,200 plants per grow room, 3 tiers up, 20 feet up to the deck, it's a massive undertaking. So to just see the cultivation department.
That's a lot of jobs, friend.
It really is. It is. I mean,
good work.
It is, just to see the growth in our company, not just from a facility standpoint, just from an employee standpoint. It's just rapid growth.
So we've got electricity, we've got water, we've got employing people, we've got comfortability, anxiety covered. I mean, once again, check. Solar Therapeutics, y'all.
So yeah, but we're proud, and I'd be remiss to not mention just some of the people in the departments that it starts from the top down, from our CEO Dow to our CFO Rob Keller. Our compliance department is rock solid. That is such a
well, that's it. You've won awards not only for your strains but also your business, like just all of the things. Like everybody's pulling their weight.
Yeah,
it's the community.
We are a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, for sure.
We're growing and we're learning. Not so much from our mistakes, so to speak. I don't want to say we have a lot of mistakes, but
shit happens.
Shit happens.
2020.
And we are actively growing and learning. And it's really dialing in, what we have, at our disposal, and really just operating at an efficient, lean, mean level. But I think, just again, to see the employee growth, just kind of come tenfold to the circle. It's amazing.
I'm excited to swing in. So Eric, I know you have 1,000,005 people to thank and all the things that are going on in the room where it happens.
Derek,
for sure. Yeah.
So before we get into all that, you guys have the facility in Seekonk that we're looking at opening. We got all these new strains. We have the lab,
secret location, because I went on your website and it
we
said
have the lab that you guys are
secrets.
building, the Cultivators Cup. I think it's going to be a huge year for you guys.
Yeah, we I would never chalk anything up as a loss. 2020 was tough on everybody in any industry, personally, professionally. But yeah, this year we're really looking forward to.
It's our year.
It's our year. 2020 was supposed to be, but no, you just honestly, you got to take your licks, and whatever's happening around you, you still have to find a way to kind of navigate through those ebbs and flows. And I think looking back in retrospect, 2020 was kind of a testament to the fact that we can figure out a way to make it work, to pivot, to figure out what's going to be best for us operationally from business moving forward, evolving. And we're super excited. We've only just begun, and I tell that to my CFO and CEO every day. Even if they give me props, I've said we've only just begun. We really haven't scratched the surface yet, and that's kind of our mentality, my mentality. We just got to keep digging, and we're only going to get better and better.
Well, we'll have to get Ed on the show with us next time. Hopefully we can keep doing this throughout the year. A lot of people you wanted to thank. I'll let you thank everybody. And
yeah, I mean, again, just coming from the top down, it goes from our executive level to our directors, from corporate to processing, to cultivation, to retail level. It's a team effort, and again, we're a new company in an evolving industry, and in a very new industry. and to just kind of look and see what we've implemented, what we've built collectively, you know, and the leadership that we've had to guide us to get us to where we are. Again, we've only just begun, but I think we're really off to a good start, and you know, the best is yet to come.
All right, guys. So, everybody listening, be sure to check out Solar Therapeutics in Somerset, Mass. You guys are on Brayton Street or Brayton Point Road, right?
Point Road, yeah, 1400 Brayton Point Road. You can catch us right off of Route 6. Take a right at the Cumbies.
Yeah, go check
I
those
expect a
guys out.
tour.
Oh,
Anytime you want to.
we should do a 13 Folds community tour. Like, I'll come in there with like, well, we got to keep it small because of regulation. So we'll go like 10 people or something, you know?
Yeah.
That way we won't. I was going to say like 50, but they, you know, not in this environment.
That'll give my compliance team a
Nightmare.
a mini panic attack. So
I want to do this more often. And plus, once COVID's done, you guys are already sponsoring all of our live events too. Solar Therapeutics helps us do every event that 13 Folds throws. They are a huge sponsor for 13 Folds Live when we're out doing this live at the different venues. You guys sponsored Funk Night with us, and you know what? You thanked everybody. I want to take a minute to thank you because you guys have done a ton for us and the community. And I look forward to doing more things in the future and everything else that you guys are going to be doing. You're listening to 13 Folds live on lemonadio.com. And we'll be back with some music. Stick around, and hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of the show.
Brayton Poet.
I want to do this more often. Everybody listening, be sure to check out Solar Therapeutics in Somerset, Mass.
1400 Brayton Point Road. You can catch us right off of Route 6. Take a right at the Cumbies.
13 Folds Alive.